So, recently last week, shall we say, or this week, or shall we say 2 videos ago now, I did a video about the fact that there's this new, shall we say, Brisbane blogger who, shall we say, exploded onto the scene recently, that she made the most ridiculous claim that cancer is somehow your body trying to save you. Now, if you've, shall we say, delved into the, shall we say, absolutely bizarre, absolutely non-scientific world of quackery, then you know this isn't the first time we've covered this, or even, let alone the only one that actually makes this claim. Now, one of the common arguments, or shall we say defense arguments, that I get constantly defending people like Dr. Glidden, Bergman, the Gerson Institute, whatever, you name it, the constant thing they constantly claim is, oh, but there's science backing this. There's, you know, this is their science, you know, they've proved it, you know, all this. Well, unfortunately not, particularly in the case of Bergman and Glidden. You know, when they hold their online seminars or they're doing their talks, all they're really doing is effectively reading a Wikipedia page. Now, that doesn't make them an expert, because I could sit here and I could read you the Wikipedia entry for pretty much any disease going, about why what it is, why it affects your body, and so on and so on. You know, just because I can sit there and do that, it doesn't make me an expert, it doesn't make me a doctor. But the problem is, a lot, and I mean a lot of people fall for this just nonsense. If you don't believe me, go and look up Bergman's videos, or, you know, Glidden's videos about his you know, science on his, you know, treatments. Because what they do is they very cleverly, shall we say, spin a web of intrigue and lies covering the truth. Because what they'll say is, they'll say, oh, you've got high blood pressure, and, you know, they'll read the science of it, this is why you've got high blood pressure, and then they can go, well, you see, if you were to take this, which of course real doctors don't prescribe because it's a natural remedy, this will lower your blood pressure instantaneously. That's essentially what they do every single time they do one of those videos. It's read the, you know, pretty much read the Wikipedia article, scare your audience as to why your doctor is incapable of treating you, and, you know, complain about, you know, the medical industrial complex and big pharma, and then present your own answer to this question, which essentially just makes them money. And that is the big, you know, shall we say, block, I'd say, you're trying to fight with most people, because you have people who believe these guys, and unless you've actually delved in and gone into this and actually had a talk with some of these people, you will know that they will just not believe any sort of form of medical information. And it's almost a sense of, it's pointless trying to even help these people, because they are so far gone that they just won't, they will just ignore you, because they've been conditioned by people like Glidden, Bergman, you know, the Gerson Institute, Vickers, all these other, you know, fake quackery doctors out there, who will all go, your doctor is lying to you, the real information is being hidden from you. And of course, what does it boil down to? It boils down to a massive conspiracy theory that they are somehow the right kind of doctors that you need to see, and that they are cheaper. And trust me, in most cases they are not cheaper. If you've ever actually looked into what these guys are charging, it is actually quite a, shall we say, a large sum. So don't be fooled by them, because this is just part of their marketing gimmick, particularly now in the age of, you know, social media, YouTube, Instagram, whatever. You know, they can reach such a bigger, larger potential audience than they ever could. And that's where we have to step in, and we have to start challenging these people, because if we don't, these people will do one of two things. First of all, the serious one. Then the serious one is that they will convince people that their quackery is going to somehow help them or cure them, when all it's going to do is make them worse, or, you know, it'll lead to their death, because they put off real medical treatments, you know, that killed, you know, so that could have helped them. So that's the first thing we need to combat, and that's stopping people stopping that slide. And I view that as doing my contribution to that, as doing these videos against these, you know, quacks. You know, this is how I help. The next thing that you need to stop, and this is really at your, so we say, your local level, is you need to stop these people getting any sort of, shall we say, official recognition. Now, in America, if you look where it is, you will notice that there are different licensing boards for these guys. There is a chiropractic board, there's a naturopathy board for these alt med guys. Now, the first thing you must do is, if you find out that they are trying to push for regulation, is stop them. Because if you stop them, then they can't practice in your state, and they can't call themselves legitimately doctors in your area. And they also cannot prescribe medicines, because that is one of the bizarre things these guys push for legitimacy. They ask for prescription power. So particularly in America, where they've been licensed, these guys have the same prescription power as an actual doctor. But the problem is they aren't anywhere near close to the level of training that a real, shall we say, GP is. You know, a naturopath and a chiropractor are nowhere near. So basically, don't even trust them in terms of, you know, believing if they start, shall we say, handing out prescriptions to you. Because it won't be real medicines, it'll be, you know, this, you know, it'll be a mostly water with a hint of dandelions and whatever mixed in if they're a naturopath. And of course, if they're a chiropractor, well, it'll be, come and see me and, you know, we'll adjust your neck a few times. So, yeah. So, you need to stop them, and you need to go, you know, get in contact with your people and whatever. Now, what do you do? Some of you might be asking, well, this is the case in my state. They are already approved. You know, in the UK, there is a chiropractic board. I don't think there is a naturopathy board at the moment, but I know that is something they are fighting for. So let's take the chiropractic board. So let's say you find in your state that there is a official regulator of chiropractic and, you know, naturopathy. What do you do? Well, the first thing you need to do is you need to be on it. You need to go back throughout your recent history and find out, have there been people who have been treated by naturopaths or chiropractors? What was the result? Were they injured? And then how did that board react to this, you know, information? Did they ignore it? Was it brushed under this? Was it brushed under? Did they just go, "Ooh, you bad, you know, naturopath. Here's our, you know, here's a warning, but, you know, continue on practicing." Because we've just had a shall we say, a similar situation in the UK. There's a chiropractor who has broken someone's neck and currently been arrested for it, and basically the chiropractic board of the UK, the regulatory body that is meant to protect the public body, has allowed that person to keep their license, basically meaning they can continue practicing when they leave prison. You know, it's things like that that you need to bring to your, you know, your government level. And, you know, I've raised it with my MP Dan Jarvis. I'm looking to see if there are other MPs that are trying to, you know, champion this cause, because you know, they might take it and then they might be able to, you know, run with it in their sort of larger campaign. So that's a very sort of UK based, but I think it sort of works as well at the, you know, the US level. In fact, generally wherever you may find yourself in the world. So I'd be very interested to know what, if people know of any, shall we say, government representative who is fighting against quackery and who is doing it successfully, because I'd like to examine what they are doing, so not only that I can bring it out to you, the wider audience, but so I can know for myself, because I want to, shall we say, end, well, first of all, well, shall we say end, yeah, we'll say end the chiropractic board in the UK, because, well, we've already done 2 videos on them, and if you watch those, you'll understand why they need to basically end as a regulatory body. So with that said, yeah, let me know what you think. Let me know what's going on in, shall we say, your area in terms of, you know, regulation. Let me know of any stories as well that might have happened in your area that concern a chiropractor or a naturopath, or, you know, anyone who practices really alt med. And remember, publish these stories far and wide when they happen, and, you know, keep them on file. Keep a record of these, so that, you know, you have them on file. Because I have a file on my computer where I've got everything, where I've been going through, trying to find out anything bad that's happened to, you know, chiropractic wise, that has been going on. So if you know something that I might have missed, if you've only sort of got reported locally, send the article my way, because, like I say, I'd be more than happy to sort of add it to my list, because this is one of the things that I want to send again to Dan Jarvis. Go look at all these things, and then look at what the chiropractic board actually did in terms of, shall we say, regulation, because these guys are meant to protect the public, and we have to show MPs, particularly in the UK, that the chiropractic board didn't protect the public at large. And once we can prove that, we can then actually start a proper, real campaign to either remove the regulatory chiropractors completely and completely ban chiropractic in the UK, or we change the board so that it is an actual proper medical board that will actually protect people. So one of those 2 outcomes, I'd say, would be the most favourable. So let me know what you think.